Allie Redhorse Young, a member of the Diné tribe, is an activist and writer focused on getting more Indigenous people to vote, with her campaign, Ride to the Polls. As many have said, your voice can't be heard or counted if you don't get out and vote.
I organized an event called Ride to the Polls. I actually organized it with my father. It was really his vision to see all of us in our community, Diné people on horseback, making our voices heard. And I said, I can do it. I can organize those people. Let's do it. Really, it was about inspiring our youth who really felt fatigued. They were asking the question, why do we continue to participate in a system that wasn't designed for us and has never worked for us? While those are points that I agree with and I think are valid, it was the most important election in our lifetime. And I wanted to connect with them and I wanted to find something that would motivate them. And my father and I believe deeply that our people are moved by our culture and our stories. And that's what we wanted to do with Ride to the Polls. It was about reconnecting to our relationship with the land and with horses, which is medicine to our people. The climate crisis will impact the future of Indigenous peoples, I think, across the board. I was just talking about how innately tied we are to the land. We have this relationship with the land that we're trying to make the rest of the world understand by sharing our stories. It's a relationship that's devastating when we see mineral extraction happening, when we see companies raping our mother. That is our relationship to the earth. In our language, we call her our mother, and how we're related to the herbs and the plants and the animals and the universe. Maybe some people don't know this, but Indigenous peoples and communities hold 80% of the world's biodiversity. And I think that that's a testament to how we care for Mother Earth and our relationship to her. I believe that if we continue leading the way, and I do think that Indigenous peoples are the ones that are leading the way on environmental justice, if we're given that space to continue being the leaders of that movement, I think that we can at least buy us some time. On my reservation, there are areas that have dried up, where there were once lakes and water, and now that water is contaminated. So we're flooded with diseases, and it's only going to get worse if we don't do something about it. As far as if we're able to ever reclaim our land, I think we can do so in our communities. That's the message of our Ride to the Polls campaign this year, is around reclaiming our power, reclaiming our land, our streets, and our culture. I think there's something really powerful in that. I don't know if we'll ever get to a point where we've totally reclaimed our land or we're completely decolonized. We can work our way there by continuing to indigenize spaces and show up, remind people of who we are and our people and our position in this country and our contribution to this country. The future looks like Indigenous female leadership, Indigenous representation, Indigenous power, and all of that being normalized. We're no longer invisible, that we're no longer an afterthought, that we are a part of every conversation. We as a people are normalized in our ancestral homelands. These are our homelands, and this is Native land. The future for me is that people recognize that and acknowledge it. The work that I'm doing is around civic engagement and speaking to our young people about stepping up as leaders, especially Native women, because we have so much knowledge and power. And I think if we can return to that matriarchy that has so much power, especially in society, I think we'll see an improvement. Our women have always been the ones that are the caretakers, but they're more than that. And Secretary Deb Haaland is proving that. She's one of my ultimate heroes, and I had the great honor of interviewing her and penning the piece on her for InStyle magazine. And even for that magazine, she was the first Native woman to grace the cover. Just to write her story and share it with the rest of the world was really powerful. She's very inspiring. And I think our young women are realizing their power. And now I'm seeing more and more young women running for office and being showrunners. We're asserting our power, and I just can't wait to see where we are in the next 5 to 10 years. My message to young people is just do it. If you have an idea, if you see a void anywhere, if you have an idea that will fill that void, then do it. I think there's so much opportunity now considering social media and the power of TikTok and Instagram. Even within the Native community, we have TikTok or social media influencers that are doing incredible work and using their platform to educate and to get the message out on whatever issue. There's so much possibility and opportunities. Like, get creative is my message, and that's what I've done.